is recording. All right. Hello. Uh, my name is The Fly, right? So if I'm being honest, I've already recorded this video a couple times already, and I feel like I haven't been doing a good job at articulating the points I've been trying to say. But I feel like I finally kind of know how I want to deliver this, and so yeah, hopefully this video won't be too long, because it's been pretty long the last time. I'm doing the same thing I'm doing where I talk about not what I'm trying what I'm trying to talk about, because I don't know. I'm still doing it right now. Wow. All right. Let me just okay, let me get on with the video. Okay. So hi. I just wanted to take the time to talk about, because this is something I don't really do that much. Like I don't think I've ever done a video like publicly, I guess, where I've just discussed something. So yeah, hi, I'm just gonna talk about this thing I've been seeing people do. And yeah, so basically, oh, also let me just put a disclaimer, I guess. Well, not I guess, but a disclaimer about what I've been talking about. And this is not a video of me talking about how this specific thing is wrong, or this is bad, or this is how the right way should be, or this is wrong. I think I already said that. But overall, just me talking about how this thingy people do, and how I feel about it, I guess. So basically, I've seen people do this thing where they'll layer the orb and the portal of, they'll layer the orb very off-centered to where the portal is. Like you could see in this, the first frame of the video that I'm presenting. By the way, this is a very cool layout. You should check it out. So this example is, I have no idea how to pronounce the name. You could do it. I can't. But this is by Mr. This is by the, I don't know how to pronounce names. I'm just gonna say, Dawu. I don't know. Sorry if I botched your name, but I feel like they've provided some good examples of what I'm trying to talk about. So basically, right here, let me just play the video. Kind of already off the bat, kind of see examples of what I'm talking about. Let me do right there, right there. No, right there. See that right there? They're the orbs are slightly off-centered to where the portal is. Again, not saying this is a bad thing, just something I've noticed. And it's and here's where I get to the opinion part. Again, topic is subjective, and this is, again, not me saying this is right or wrong. This is just how I feel about it. So I feel like this right here, sometimes I feel like there kind of is, I feel like sometimes it could be not the best idea for certain things. That is a very, very general statement, but I'll just get into why sometimes I think that. In this kind of sense, I feel like sometimes I feel like it really doesn't matter why the orb is slightly off-centered. I feel like most people do it just to make it look different. And again, is not a bad thing at all. I have done that in the past sometimes, where I'll just layer the orbs off-center just to make it look wacky, right? Make it look like bonkers. Wow, it's off-center. Wow, it's cool. It's wow. And yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm sick. So if I sound sick, then that's why. Yeah, I'm a sick person. Blah. So yeah. So with this, right? I feel like it really doesn't need to be off-centered. Like, I opened up a thingy-mabob in the dash, right? Some different examples of the things I'm going to talk about. So first off, I feel like, first let me layer this out. I want to up. Oh, okay. So right here, right? This right here works fine, right? Works okay. It's fine. But when it's like this or something, right? This is a random example. It's like this. I feel like really doesn't need to look like that. Like if it's like empty like this, like in the video that I've presented, the layout, most of the time the orbs are kind of off-centered for no particular reason. And 100% feel free to correct me, because I don't know if there was actually a purpose for them to be off-centered in the video, at least. But I feel like this right here doesn't need, like, the orb doesn't need to be off-centered. I feel like this works fine. And then here's an example of where I feel like the orb and the portal being off-centered does work, right? Actually, you know what? Let me go back to this for a bit, because I need to say something. So I feel like with this, when it's like this, right? I feel like not only does it not need to be like that, but I feel like it honestly makes it more like it makes it more like just hold on, like that, right? I don't it. There are different movements and different examples that I could provide, but I am stupid and I cannot think of any off the top of my head right now. But I feel like this right here, right? I feel like there are more chances for like this, right? For you to miss the portal than if it's just like this, right? Of course, right? And that is not necessarily a bad thing. It's because, like, if you're trying to make it more difficult, then go ahead like this, right? But I feel like overall, they're in this kind of sense where there's like kind of empty. There's no particular reason, I guess. And then you know what? Let's go to the next example. Also, apologies. I am not the best with articulating my points, and I feel like I'm not doing a great job in this video, but bear with me. I apologize. So here's an example where I feel like actually the off-centering of the portal and orb does work. So here's a thing that I like. Here's a mindset that, of course, this is just my mindset, and I'm not saying this is like how it should be or anything, but I feel like, honestly, I feel like there is in the sense of like cleanliness and like structure between like the structures and the portal and the orbs, I feel like there is a connection between them in the sense that, or connection / relation between them, where it's like the way the portal or like the way your portals or orbs kind of like fit with the structures. Like, here's an example, right? This, right? Like, it's these two, they still do their job, right? But I feel like there is a relation between where, like, how they fit. So with this, the way this is structured, right? I feel like the portal being like perfectly centered with the orb actually makes it more messy, because there's less room in this, like there's a more of an empty space between like the orb and the structure, which gives it like a more empty feeling than on the other side of the structure. Here, the portal is actually clipping through the spike. So it's like, uh-oh, that kind of looks messy. So it's like, hold on, let's put a thingy right here, like this, right? Like, it still does its job, but it's like, it looks a bit messier. Then over here, it's doing the thing I was talking about, where the portal slash orb is off-centered to the other thingy-mabob in which it's, like, residing in, right? But I feel like this one actually works better in the sense that it's like, so there's more space being taken up between the orb and the structure, right? So it looks less messy, right? Or not less, like, again, less messy in my opinion, like, my kind of standards. Again, like, this is just these are my, like, opinions, and just, yeah. Well, let me just dial back, because I'm kind of losing my train of thought. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like this works better with this kind of structure, at least, and this kind of movement, because still doing its job, but it looks less cluttered, in my opinion. But of course, you could also, because let me just also preface, this works with my, like, the mindset I have is in relation to the way I structure things, which I will admit is still kind of outdated. Like, I feel like for people who know me, I used to, like, copy Cool Boom a lot, especially with their structures. So it's like, I still, like, 4 years later, kind of still retained that style of structuring. Of course, where it still has evolved slightly, still kind of is still based on that part. And I do other structures, but it's kind of like my main definitive style, quote unquote. So it's like, I feel like it can be, you can argue that it's this mindset of the relation between the, like, portal, orb, and structures is only in relation to the way I structure, because I use a lot of, like, slopes and thingies, and, like, yeah. But apologies again. I'm not the best with speaking and stuffs, but I feel like this works better than this, not the normal way, but, like, the way most people will do it, how I would do it, I guess. So yeah, that is what I want to talk about. Just talking about, and again, this is just one example, one movement, like this idea of the off-center, like, orb with the portal. You can use, like, there's so many different movements and so many different, like, structuring styles that, like, work with it. But when it comes to me, this is just how I feel. And yeah, not saying it's bad, not saying it's like the best thing ever, not saying it's the worst thing, not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. This is just how I feel. And yeah, I guess. Yeah. So yeah. Hooray. I hope you enjoyed me talking about this, because I know that I've, like, like, I know I'm not the best with speaking, and this is probably, like, kind of a lackluster video, just because, like, this very all over the place kind of speech, but overall, I'll just generalize it. Overall, I feel like that this way of structuring the orb and the orbs and the portals can, it like, for a look wise, I feel like, of course, it could look cool in its own way. I feel like it could be buggy sometimes in relation to what movement you're using. especially if it's like a transition from one game mode to another. Because, like, yeah, I feel like in that sense, it could be slightly buggy. And I feel like also that it could be just not the most efficient way of structuring in certain aspects. Like, with game modes and stuff, just, eh. And then going back to the other thing I was talking about, where, like, structuring in relation to, like, structuring your orbs slash portals in the relation to the actual structure themselves. I feel like some cases does work. Like in this, okay, again, in my opinion, it does work, but I feel like there's sometimes where it doesn't work. Like, yeah, but overall, that's how I feel. That's how I feel, I guess. And yay. Let's celebrate this momentous occasion with some very amazing Gerald music. What? I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's some outro music.